Okay, everybody, good afternoon, and this is what we're going to do today. You have been working on parts 1 and 2 from the Gridworld case study, and right now you should be working on part 3. What I'm going to do today is get you started on your runner, on your jumper, and your jumper runner. Now, this is an activity that is at the end of the part 3 Gridworld classes and interfaces. You should know by now how to work with the location class. You should know what type of methods are in the location class. Then after that, you can work on the grid interface and understand what the grid interface does in our grid world case study. After you understand what these methods do for the grid interface, you will get to know the actor class. Okay, now the actor class has other methods, and the actor class is the super class of bug, rock, and flower. So as you know, this is going to be the super class of those classes. This one also has some methods like get color, get direction, public grid actor, get grid, and of course public location, get location. So these are the methods that work with the actor class. Okay. Now one method enables an actor to add itself to a grid. Another enables the actor to remove itself from the grid. Now you better read this carefully because this is going to help you understand how to use these methods. Remember that you don't have to memorize all the methods and how they work. Remember that each of these programs have something called a Java doc. Now on your Grid World code folder, you have something called the Java doc. Now here you can see some of the HTML files like all classes frame, all classes no frame, constant values, deprecated list, help doc index, index all. So here you can open the index, and here you can see all the methods that are used in the Grid World case study. Okay, and you can look for them in alphabetical order. Now, as you can see, the bug is a class, and you can see bug the constructor method. So if you click on constructor method, it says it constructs a bug of a given color. So if you go here, you can actually go back and forth to each of the methods. Now you have an act. The actor class has an act. The bug class also has an act. And the critter has an act. Now each of these, like every single actor, the critter, the flower, and the rock, have different acts. Okay? Now for the jumper file that we are going to create, we need to establish a new act file, a new act class. Act method. Okay? So here we have all of them. You can use them and like get direction towards, and these would be the location methods. Okay? Now this is a pretty big index. And of course you can use it anytime you like. Okay? Now if you want to look for it in a different way, you can just go to constant values or all classes frame. Now if you go to all classes frame here, it will be easier to go like, okay, I want to look at my bug class. Now the bug class has act, can move, move, and turn. Now here we will understand a little bit how it works because our jumper class also is going to need an act, a can move, and a move and a turn. Okay. Now the turn is going to be the same, but the can move is going to change a little bit, and the move is also going to change a little bit. So this is something that is very helpful. The Java doc is the way that the program is built and how to use the methods. Okay, so let's get back to our work. Okay, now here we have, after you get to know all this, extending the actor class and finishing all the sets, like set from 1 to 6, after you finish the set, there's a group activity. Okay, now the group activity says organize groups of 3 to 5 students. You will also work in groups of 3 to 5 students, and it says specify. Each group creates a class called Jumper. This actor can move forward 2 cells in each move. It jumps over rocks and flowers. It does not leave anything behind when it jumps. Now, first of all, before you start this project, you need to get in your groups and solve these questions, like the design and what will a jumper do if the location in front of it's empty. Okay, so you need to discuss this prior to creating the project. Now, I'm going to help you today. Just start the project, okay, if you don't know where to start. So first of all, you're going to create a new Java project, and this is going to be called the Jumper Runner. Okay, or Jumper Run. Very good. Now this Jumper Runner will have, of course, Jumper Runner and the Jumper class. Now before we start that, we need to add the libraries to our project. So we're going to add the Gridworld, and we added all those packages. Okay, now we are going to create a class, and we're going to create the Jumper Runner class. Okay, so we're going to create a class, and here we're going to say Jumper Runner. Okay, it's going to be called the Jumper Runner, and this is going to be our void main. So I'm going to click on public static void main. Okay, and here we have the Jumper Runner. Now, if you want to just save a little bit of time, what I would do is get my box runner, okay, or my bug runner. Remember, that is the first project. It's the bug runner, and I would like to just copy that code into my program. Okay, so I can do that. I can just copy the code of the first program. Okay, okay, so this is, I can delete this. Remember that here I imported all these different classes that, of course, they can be very helpful. So it's good to have the import of the actor world, the bug, and the rock, because we are going to use those. Okay, now this, I can erase this because it's going to be a little bit different. Okay, and I have public static void public class bug runner. So this goes away, and of course this also goes away. I only need what's inside the public static void, actually. Okay, now here I close this, and this is, of course. Now I only need this. Now in order to work on the Jumper Runner, I'm just going to add another object called Jumper, and that's going to be my new actor in this program. Now we're going to have a problem here because we haven't created the class Jumper yet, and that's exactly what we're going to do in a minute. Okay, so here's my Jumper Runner. I used the bug runner in order to save some time, and I'm going to create another class. Okay, that is going to be my Jumper class. I'm going to call it Jumper. This case, I'm going to uncheck the public static void, and here I need to establish my super class. Now my super class is going to be info gridworld actor bug. Okay, because a jumper is going to be a bug with a different behavior. So actually I am going to extend the bug class. I'm going to extend the bug class, into the jumper class. Now here I can click on browse and I'm going to choose the bug. Now it found it because we had the jar file installed. So we have the bug and we click and finish. Now here we have our public class jumper. Okay, now it's saying that public class jumper extends bug. Now before we continue, we should start importing other things that we are going to need. Like in this case, we're going to use the actor class, of course. We're going to also import the, let's say, the grid. Okay, here we have it. We have the grid class, very important. Okay, and we are going to use the bug, the actor, and the grid for now. Oh, and of course, we're going to need the location class. Gridworld. The location class would be inside the location. Here we go. So we're going to use these 5 classes in our bug. Okay. Now, since we're saying that jumper extends a bug, I told you that we're going to need something just like the bug. If you want, you can open the bug to work on it, to help you just get the idea of how the bug works, and then you can change it to the jumper. Okay, so here I might have the bug. So here I have a bug. Now this is the bug class. As I said, now the bug creates a bug. Okay, we have the constructor class. Okay, so when we're creating a jumper, since it extends a bug, it's going to create a bug. Okay, just how we create a bug is going to be created. But it has 3 important methods. One is the public void act. Okay, so you can use this public void act. And we're going to put it here. We're going to create public void act, of course. We also have another one that is going to be turn. Well, turn is going to be the same, so we don't have to create that method. But it moves in a different way, so we have to create the move. We're going to have another method called public void move. Okay, and here we have another very important method, and of course we have the can move, because he has to give us return. He has to return either false or true if the object or the actor can move. So we have can move as another method. Okay, so what you guys are going to do is that this is the jumper actor, that is an extension of a bug, but it behaves in a different way. You guys will implement the act, the move, okay, and the can move method. Okay. Now remember that there's an error in can move because this is a public boolean, so it has to return. So you need to return something. Remember that you need to return false or true. Okay. As soon as you return something, then the error is corrected. Okay. So here you have your 3 methods. Okay. You need those 3 methods. Now you can start personalizing your jumper bug. Okay. What else? Now you can use the bug in order to understand how to use different things. Like in move, you're going to use the grid, okay, the grid class. You're going to use the location class, and you're going to use some methods like get location or get adjacent location. That's why part 3 has a combination of all the classes like location, grid, and actor, because you need that in order to change the behavior of an actor. Okay? So after you finish your jumper class, you will have something like this. Let's see. let's run this. Okay, as you can see, you will have, after you personalize your jumper and your jumper runner, you will see that this one is the jumper and this one is a normal. So here we go. Now they're turning. Now he is just jumping. He couldn't go to the rock, so he's going to move in a different direction. Now he can't move there. Now he's moving every 2 steps. Now in the flowers, you see, he can step on the flower. Okay, so this is your project. By the end of the week, it would be good that you guys have this, and in your groups, discuss how you're going to implement those 3 methods: act, move, and can move. Okay, so good luck, and I will see the results at the end of the week.